everyone, welcome back to Obscurus Lupa Presents. Now, I've made fun of some awful, poorly done independent movies recently, most of which have been distributed through dumb luck by people without the means or budget to make what they truly envisioned. But remember, Hollywood can fail just as badly, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Today's movie is Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. First, a little insight into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The original film is a classic for a reason. The movie is played very realistically, almost documentary style, with no soundtrack except for the sounds of cymbals once or twice throughout the film. The reasons for this can be chalked up to budget, since the film was made on next to nothing, but the no-frills approach works to the film's advantage. It's not a nice film. It makes you feel uncomfortable and almost dirty by the end of it. There are little to no likable characters, and the deaths are very brutal and animalistic. You're left with nothing but your emotions, and it hardly feels like a movie at all. And what better way to continue the series than by taking it to California, dressing it up, and doing it Hollywood style? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, New Line wanted to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre into a series of films, since they'd had a lot of success with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. When Tobe Hooper made the sequel, he basically turned it into a comedy and alienated the entire fan base. It was not well liked. Thus, when Part 3 came around, the new director wanted to take the series back to its roots, which is basically a way of saying he ignored Part 2 and just rehashed the original. The reason the original was such a classic really wasn't the fantastic premise of an inbred family killing off college kids and eating them, nor was it because of fantastic amounts of gore in the film. In fact, the original has practically no gore. Almost all of the violence happens off-screen. The scariest moment to me was when Leatherface hits one of the guys with a sledgehammer and drags him off into the meat locker. You don't see what happens to him. The door slams shut and that's it. The gore is left up to your imagination, and let's be honest, a movie can never be as scary as what you imagine is happening. Part 3 tries to capture the feel of the first film, but misses the point entirely. The cast has a bit more comic relief to it, the gore is very tacked on, and it reeks of producer intervention. Bear with me here, there's a movie in here somewhere. The long and short of it is, the MPAA did some extensive cutting to the film to avoid an X rating, and a few changes in the story were made as a result of wanting to pump out more sequels. I've watched the director's cut, which supposedly adds in the removed gore, but it still feels that way. From what I've been told, a lot of the gore was lost forever in the recutting, but even with 5 extra minutes of footage, I still feel the film lacks what potential it had. Lost potential and a stupid rehash? Well, maybe I can give it a chance. I don't know. Starring Kate Hodge, I'm all over this! Oh, Kate Hodge, you know you want to say it.
There won't be another full moon for months.
Bazing! The movie begins with a recap of the first one, thus ignoring Part 2 and also reminding us of how much better it was than this one.
Hardesty was the sole survivor of that night of terror. She died in a private healthcare facility in 1977.
She died 4 years later? How? She was in her 20s in the first film. Maybe you can elaborate on this?
The jurors concluded that Leatherface, presumed to be an unapprehended killer, was in fact an alternate personality of Sawyer's, activated whenever he donned a crude mask made of human flesh.
What? What? They said Leatherface was an alternate personality? They didn't interview Sally about her attack? They wouldn't check to make sure if, oh, I don't know, there's still a serial killer with a chainsaw out in the backwoods somewhere? It's not like Leatherface is particularly skilled at keeping himself hidden. Bullshit. Inarguably the goriest part of the film, Leatherface has killed some girl and is making a new face mask while another young woman watches. You might be thinking that the reason she's hanging around will make sense once you find out who she is, but it really doesn't. Also, this movie is rock and roll! Here we're introduced to Michelle and Ryan. Ryan is played by William Butler, a guy who got killed by Jason in Part 7 and killed by Freddy in an episode of Freddy's Nightmares. Can you guess his fate here? Michelle and Ryan are on a road trip since Michelle is moving somewhere to, I don't know, find herself or something, and they're having one last trip together as a couple. I think. The backstory is a little hasty and really doesn't matter. On the radio, there's a story about a mass grave being found along the interstate.
At least we're not as bad off as those people in that body pit.
They were murdered. God, they had to have been.
Astute observation, Michelle. Here I thought people died of natural causes in mass graves.
Violence is no answer to violence.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts in this movie. By the time night rolls around, the two of them come across the mass grave and have to stop. So if the grave is on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, why exactly do cars have to stop again? One of the men remarks that the body pit reminds him of the one they found from one of the previous movies. But I thought Leatherface was just an alternate personality. Oh well, must be a coincidence.
Coming from?
LA?
I'm going to London to study mythology.
Just hurry along.
They had to stop for that? Why?
Keep moving. Don't stop for nothing or nobody.
Nice place. I don't know, I think we need some road trip music here.
I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger, the can such a pretty show to steal your heart away. The backstage back on earth again. The dressing rooms are gray.
We cut to a gas station the next day, where Michelle and Ryan pull up to use the facilities. We also meet crazy gas station guy, who I can't help but think is being played for comic relief here.
Hey, got you. Yeah, got you good.
Yeah.
It's only $5. It's a good picture. What do you say? $3.69, okay?
I can creep you out some more for $1. We also meet Tex, played by Viggo Mortensen. That's right, he was not only in Lord of the Rings and nominated for an Oscar, but he also got to be in gems like this.
There's roadkill all over Texas. Natural order thing. You're the last thing I saw before I died. I die a happy man.
Call the police! While Tex shows Ryan a shortcut on the map, Michelle heads to the bathroom to— No! Ew! Do we really need to see this?
You son of a bitch! I was only looking at her! She liked it! She liked the fans! Just ask her!
Would you just shut up, stupid?
Oscar! Crazy gas station guy shoots at them and they drive away, opting to take the route Tex showed them. If you know the horror movie rules, you can see where this is going. They drive all the way into the night, which is apparently how long it takes for one of the family to get into the truck and chase after them. Should you really be shooting that close to a gas pump?
Traffic's sprung now, honey.
Well said, gas station guy. To the movie's credit, some of the shots are nice, and the main music theme of the movie is pretty good.
Oh my god!
It's coming from behind us!
The script, not so much. You'd think the truck is going to run them off the road, but he actually throws a dead coyote onto the hood, and that makes them stop. Because yeah, when a truck is chasing you down in the middle of the night, the best thing to do is stop moving.
Now we gotta change this tire and get out of here, now!
Okay. Slow and easy. 'Cause I'm about to fucking lose my mind!
I'm sorry, my poor delivery on that line was a little depressing. Oh well, about time for that title character to show up. What is this, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, State the Obvious? We're in a bad movie! We're in a bad movie! They drive away and Leatherface pulls off the top of the trunk. How? He's a backwoods inbred with a leg brace, not fucking Superman. Meanwhile, our other main character, Benny, a survivalist, is driving down the road. He's played by Ken Foree, who is most famous as Peter in Dawn of the Dead. If you haven't seen it yet, this is basically the same character. That being said, he is one of the few bright spots of the film. What just happened there? Who was that? Were they carrying a body? Benny helps the two of them out of the car, and Ryan tries to explain their situation in the craziest way possible.
We're being hunted!
Tex, he's still up there.
Transition? What's that?
You people are serious.
Mister, do you see this?
I'm 12. Benny goes to get something from the Jeep when he comes across this.
Looks like you had a little mishap.
He seems trustworthy. Greasy hair and a hook can seems legit to me. Benny eventually does realize that this guy might be a little shady, and luckily for plot contrivances, he happened to be coming back from a survivalist camp and has a gun in the Jeep. Man, I cannot tell you how many times I've had a night like that. It probably would have been more useful to shoot him, but whatever. This guy kinda kicks Leatherface's ass. Go, Benny, go! Where'd that come from?
Hey, scumbag! Here! You want me, not him!
Why does he keep revving it and waving it around? Isn't that slowing him down? The woman who saved Benny is Sarah, who was hunted down with her family and has been hiding in the woods ever since.
Day before yesterday, I had to eat a fucking rat raw.
She's taking the road to Crazy Town. Meanwhile, Ryan and Michelle are searching the woods, and as we all know, the best thing to do when a killer is after you is to shout real loud so he can find you.
Benny!
Thanks.
I feel a real connection here between two lost souls. I really think this'll last a lifetime. Oh, never mind.
How about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3? It's about this psychopathic killer called Leatherface.
You have bad taste in movies.
Leatherface shockingly finds Ryan and Michelle, and Ryan is caught in one of the family's traps. You know, when he tells you to leave without him, Michelle, it kinda ruins his heroic moment when you waste the opportunity and stand there and watch.
God, no!
Michelle sees a nearby house and, oh fuck it, you know how it goes. What a twist!
Why are you doing this?
Because if you don't poke them, then they don't leave. And if they don't leave, we can't feed Grandpa. Silly.
The only exception I can make for this plot hole is the little girl, because she's actually Leatherface's daughter. That's right, Leatherface has a daughter. Wrap your mind around that. Hook Guy brings in Ryan, and they hang him up by meat hooks, revealing that he's still alive. Not that it particularly matters, since he doesn't do anything. By the way, what was with all the gooey chainsaw sounds when Leatherface found him? Where did he get hit? Is that really all the damage that was done? The family leaves Michelle and Ryan alone, and then we cut to this.
Clean that trap out, Brad. Clean it good. Oh, you motherfucker. Don't tell me what I should do.
Was this guy supposed to be in another movie? By the way, I also question his relationship with the family here. He's clearly not part of the family because he doesn't go to the house, but he helps them lure in victims and does the body cleanup. For what? Do they pay him or do they just supply him with more nudie magazines? I mean, yeah, he's crazy, but what does he gain from this?
Fucker.
How is it that he's talking non-stop for all of his scenes, but I couldn't tell you 2 sentences he said? Michelle is trying to escape when Leatherface comes home and wants to show her a surprise. Well, I never! I like the scenes where he's genuinely trying to be a nice guy. It's just a great contrast. He seems to sincerely not understand the guff he's getting. But it's okay, Tex comes home with a gift for him, a giant chainsaw inscribed with the family motto. Some of the best scenes of the movie are when the family acts like, well, a family. It's kinda like a gory Addams Family. Hook Guy scolds Leatherface for losing Benny and throws his headphones into the oven. This makes Leatherface a bit grumpy. Don't mess with Leatherface's music, motherfucker. I'd like to think he's listening to something classy, like Beethoven or something.
This makes a very loud bang. And an awfully big hole.
Do I know you?
Whatever. Benny knocks gas station guy into the water and doesn't bother checking if knocking him into it actually killed him. Which it wouldn't, because it's water. So I guess that was pointless. The family is getting ready to kill Ryan when the little girl asks if she can do the honors. This was one of the things that got cut in the theatrical run, though seeing as her killing Ryan is still implied and she's also carrying a doll with a baby skull, I think cutting the actual impact is a moot point. Aw, that's sweet. Leatherface also shows his romantic side.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But when I see you hanging about,
What the fuck?
Wasn't that a shotgun? How the hell does he have so many bullets? Oh well, Michelle breaks free, runs away, and then things turn awesome.
Shit! No! Great!
Okay. All right. You and me then, huh? You sick. Fucker! Come on! Come on!
Oh yeah! Benny gets up from being run over and fights Tex.
Why don't you leave us alone? You're hungry. Never heard of pizza?
It's official. This movie rocks. Michelle gets caught in one of the traps, which drags her into the lake. She's about to get killed by Leatherface when Benny saves her again, tackling him into the lake. They have a fight that involves things that don't even begin to make sense before Benny gets a chainsaw to the head. So long, Benny. It looks like Michelle's done for when Leatherface suffers a severe case of rock to the head. She wanders toward the road till morning.
No! No!
Hey, it's me!
Oh, what the hell? No! You don't survive a chainsaw to the head. What is that, a paper cut? Bullshit. Well, I guess that was a happy ending. Oh, come on, you can't fake kill him 3 times. And what is this, the final battles with gas station guy? Bullshit.
What are the chances of a brainless bitch like you even knowing how to use that thing?
Pretty goddamn good, you backwoods motherfucker. There's roadkill all over Texas.
Got that right.
I wish that I knew what I know now. But when I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. But when I was stronger, the can such a pretty show.
And if that ending didn't make sense to you, there's a reason. As you might have suspected, this was not the original ending. Due to the popularity of Benny's character, and the producers wanting to set up a sequel, the ending was reshot with Benny mysteriously surviving a pretty fatal wound to the head. In the original ending, he did in fact die, which was followed by a battle between Michelle and Tex, who miraculously survived being blown up. So either ending you pick, suspend your disbelief. However confusing the reshot ending was, it still makes more sense than this does. So that was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Was it as bad as its reputation? No, not really. Yes, the movie is a rehash of the original, but there are things about it worth watching. It's a bit fair to watch it without comparing it to the original anyway, because taking it in a different direction wasn't necessarily a bad thing. The characters were likable and entertaining, there's a lot of off-the-wall moments, and the acting, truthfully, is a lot better than a movie like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 calls for. The family interacted well, and casting Viggo Mortensen was a stroke of genius because of how normal he looks. R.A. Mihailoff as Leatherface was also a good casting choice. He plays him with a lot of heart without venturing into comedy territory. The last 10 minutes of the movie are really entertaining and go all out, and if they'd taken the whole movie in that direction, I think it would have gotten more credit than it did. And at the very least, the movie can say it's better than The Next Generation. I'll see you next time.
Do I know you?